Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Beyond the Truck podcast. Jerry Curl bringing you this show with my dear friend Jason Holt. And Jason, our super trucker, he's there with us. He's live today for us. But most importantly, reason Jason's with us today, not only is a dear friend of mine, he is also the director, one of the directors from Matt's Mid America Truck Show. And I'll be honest with you, been a dear friend of mine. We had the opportunity and pleasure of getting to work together. And we've also been talking about this show. And I got to thank Jason. Because of him, I was able to be able to speak there. So, I'm tickled pink to come and bring Beyond the Truck to all of these professionals in the industry that keep America moving. And I really look at improving physical health, mental health in this industry, well beyond the truck, beyond the cab, beyond the truck is why I call it that, So with all that, you guys get to hear from me all the time. I'm going to flip it over to my buddy Jason, and Jason's going to tell us a little bit who he is, a little bit about Mid America Truck Show this year, what are the dates, when it is, and go from there. So, Jason, welcome to the podcast. Love you, appreciate you. Thanks for your time today. Hey, and thanks for moving America, because they say trucks move America. I say professional drivers move America. So thanks for what you do, brother.
Well, good afternoon, and I appreciate it. So, yeah, I've been officially fully in charge of the outdoor PKY show now. This is my fifth or sixth year, I believe. I have actually worked there since before 2000, and the gentleman retired, and I took over what he was doing. And so, yeah, and I've been I showed there for probably approximately 10 years before becoming onto the staff. So I used to skip school in high school so that I could go to the truck show, and so I haven't missed very many of them.
That's good. It's funny. Something that just popped in my head. When I was looking for Jason's number, I could not believe I didn't have it in my phone. And here he happened to call me one day, and it comes up Ron Baird's son, and I'm like, Ron Baird's son's calling me. And here's on the other end is Jason. I'm like, what are you calling for? And I thought it was me, Ron Baird's son. I had no idea it was my phone. And he's like, well, if I could be anybody's son, it'd been Ron's, I guess. So we have a great guy in common, don't we?
I love my dad, and he was very good to me. But I've known Ron. Ron has known me my whole life, and I remember him from when I was real little. Ron had cool stuff back in the day. All of his fittings, his pump and stuff was all painted up on his truck, and he went the extra mile. He kind of took me under his wing when we first started showing, and Ron has set the standards in several fields, not only trucking in his professionalism, but in showing. And he always put the other guy first. I took his wife to a concert, and he finished getting my truck ready. Little did I know that I was not ready to show, and he finished my truck. And Ron and I have been good friends for for as far back as I can remember.
That's what I always say about this industry. It's an industry that just continues to pour into people and love one another. And it's great. It's great what happens in this industry. The people you meet in this industry is remarkable. And that's what brings us together. Tell us, when is the truck show this year? It's coming up. I know that. So tell everybody when it is.
So it actually officially starts next Thursday, the 26th, and goes through the 28th. I'm actually leaving this Saturday for the show, and I'll take my truck and trailer down and start getting things set up for registration or check in on Monday morning. And we start parking Monday morning. It seems crazy that it goes on a whole week, but at the same time, you've got 195 trucks registered, and to get 195 trucks rounded up and registered and parked and signed in, it's like herding cats. So
Yeah. I,
there's a lot goes on in a week, but at the end of the day, it's a great feeling to get them all in there.
I was going to ask you how many trucks were there, and you answered my question. So 195. So if you're listening to this, people, you're never going to find at one location 195 of the nicest, trucks on the road that you're ever going to see. And that isn't going to count how many other trucks just show up to park there to go see the 195. And, you know, the amount of work that goes in these trucks and, you know, the money, the work, the care, the love, the compassion, you can see this is a part of people's lives. It's living, breathing, alive inside them. And, you know, it's really how many years has Matt's been going on now?
So I think Matt's has been going on, I think 50 some years. Don't hold me to that, give or take. And then the PKY's been going on like 30 years. I'm not sharp on my history, but it's been going on quite a while.
Yeah, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but I thought it was 50 plus years for Matt. So
Yeah,
the reason
yeah,
I go there is when you do things for 50 plus years, you know it's a big win. You know, you don't
yes.
do something for 50 years and it not be successful. So that thank you for what you do because these are things I want people to understand that they do this out of passion for the industry, the trucks, the love, the joy for people. Like I said, when you're working on other people's trucks, you're doing that because of what these people and these things mean to you.
It's a thankless job on both sides of the coin, whether it be a competitor or our side putting the show on. I do enjoy it. You know, I did skip school to go to it because I enjoyed it. I grew up in trucking, and you know, Ron was doing trick stuff to his truck, you know, before any of that stuff was cool. And like I said, he took me under his wing, and he's an awesome guy. And you know, I worked with him up there with you guys, and he's Ron broke mold, and I mean that wholeheartedly. And being called his son would be a great honor because Ron is just, you know, he set the standards for a lot of us. A lot of us look up to
Is
him.
it Yeah, he's a legend, and he's the one that paved the way, and I think, you know, I don't get me wrong, I'm no history buff on it, but I can tell you, Ron sure is a legend that paved a lot of the way in that, and, you know, this show is really involved into a huge, huge thing, and how many do you even know how many vendors are there? I mean, they'll fill the whole, Louisville
They
Convention
filled,
Center
they
there.
filled, yes, yes. I do not. Last I heard, it was around 8 or 900, but don't hold me to that.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's more by now. I I walk a fine line on the inside, like what I did for you and some other folks. That's not really the area, but I do have a little say, but I try to stay out of the inside
Yeah,
as much
sure.
as possible.
Yeah, that's a big, big deal. If you wanna know anything and everything about trucking, it's there under one roof there. So, you know, I appreciate your even giving your time today to even go at this because I want people to understand trucking, you know, American Truck Association, Trucks Move America. In my world, professional drivers move America. And we've got to start taking care of these drivers. I say, you know, we spend millions of dollars trying to figure out how we get people in the industry. I want to spend that money keeping people in the industry and keeping them healthy. The people that laid the foundation, put the bricks in this industry, I want to increase their livelihood, and I want them to live and understand that they have life well beyond the cab, beyond the truck. And you know, trucking is a thankless job. We wake up in the morning, the milk's in the refrigerator, the gas is in our tank, the clothes on our back, and all that other stuff. They just don't miraculously show up overnight. You know, we don't have the little super L's showing up. It's the professional drivers that show up and get this done. When we go to the COVIDs, we're at war. We're at anything. We're always calling on professional drivers to move America and provide for us. They never stop. You know, I tell everybody,
And
go ahead.
go ahead. I'm sorry. I was going to say, and a lot of that stuff gets done in the darkness of night. So, you know, there's several of us out here that do that stuff when nobody sees it. You
Sure.
know, some of the stuff I do, most of the time, it's during regular business hours. But you know, a lot of these guys, they run overnight mail. They run, you know, just in time freight. Uh, every kind of commodity, you know, you take it for granted. You know, you're home in a warm bed and they're out there on a snowy road all night fighting it so that you can be fed in the morning and not think that somebody else put their life in danger of getting it there.
Yeah. I say a lot, in our industry, I watch these guys drive 4 or 500 miles in a blizzard to get a load delivered. They get there and the plant's closed because the guy 4 blocks away couldn't walk to work or get to work because this weather's too bad, and they put their life on the line for us. And that means a lot to me. I'm a second generation driver, obviously, and I had a great mentor, my father, and it makes me emotional even talking about it. But, you see how hard they work. It's really like dairy farming. You milk cows morning and night. It's a job that never ends. You show me a day, holiday, or any time of the calendar year, the trucks are not on that road. It just doesn't happen. It just does not happen.
In today's world, of course, cows and pigs, they don't know, they can't read a calendar, but so many or used to, you never, places weren't open on Sunday, and then they were, and then 24 hours, these big supermarkets and stuff, and you can't, it's like a combine, you can't keep the corn away from these big machines anymore because they're
Yeah,
walking over so much land at a time, shelling corn at record pace, and you can't keep corn away from a combine if you have to go very far. And
yeah,
everything's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it is a thankless job.
yeah.
And
No,
I told a guy the other day that I was really excited seeing on social media some of these younger kids are talking about the truck show, are talking about trucking, and you know, we're all getting to the age. I talk like Ron's age, but we're getting to the age where we need some younger kids to be thinking that this is okay to make a living truck
yeah,
and get young people involved. At some point, who's gonna fill their shoes. So
yeah. I,
it's
I like it.
it's a
I
thankless
like it.
job, and
Yeah. We need young good. I want to see them guys like me, man. I was that guy chewing on the tire, couldn't wait to go with it. You know what I mean? And it's an industry that provided for my family growing up, and even my current family that I'm raising now. It's been a huge part of my life, and I want to do what I can. And that's why I started the Beyond the Truck. I want something to live well past me when I leave this earth. I want Beyond the Truck to be here for drivers that can live healthy. I want to bring them some sort of tool so they understand that, the emotions on the road, it's okay. It's life. We're isolated in these cabs. It's tough. We deal with all the family problems, the issues, whatever they deal with in the pleasure of their home. We do it traveling down the road, compensating for other poor drivers' actions all the time. And I want to make sure that they know that somebody's there for them and somebody's going to bat for them. So I say thank you for the opportunity, and hopefully I will bring the right message. I can promise you that. I'll bring the right message. So,
it's not a pity party. You chose to do this, but there's thankless hours. You're away from your kids' ball games. Was I ever mistreated or lived without in my life? No, I pretty much had the best of everything, and my father saw to it. Was he at every game? No, but he instilled morals and work values, and if you want something, you got to work for it, and it's provided me a good life. Would I suggest it to someone? I don't know. Not everybody's cut out for it. Not everybody understands it, and it's a dying breed. I mean, who is going to come in and do it? And a lot of the guys now, they don't even between giddy up and fetch. So
yeah.
it's just a dying breed, and it's sad.
Yeah, it is. I'm with you. My dad didn't make all my ball games or anything, but you know what? I always knew I had nice clothes, roof over my head, food in the fridge, heat in the house. So, yeah,
And
it's good.
I never resented my father for what he did. I don't have kids. My wife, when I do have to be gone, she understands, and that's half the battle. Working long hours, you deal with it, but if you don't have a happy home to leave and to come home to, it makes it twice as hard to,
Yeah,
you know, Ron's wife, I saw her at a funeral last summer, and of course we visited, and she said, I said, "How you getting along?" And she goes, "The wife of a trucker." She goes, "You know how it is." And she laughed, and she gets it, and she embraces it, and you know,
yeah.
hats off to them. I found a picture of them on one of his trucks, and he had bell bottom jeans on and cool shades, and look at those kids. I mean, he was
Yeah.
something back in the day, and still is today. I mean, when people mention his name, you kind of like E.F. Hutton, you listen. So
Yeah. They sent me a letter last night. I'll let everybody know here. I'm nominating Ron for Stevie SA Driver Excellence of the Year award, and I had got with the family, and they got pictures of all his plaques, awards, and wrote letters. I'm reading this morning at 4 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning on my island. I'm reading this. I'm in tears reading it, and I'm like, I love this guy. I'm like, his hands down, man. We're going for the
yeah,
trophy.
and he's one of them guys where you could call him, and if he's anywhere close, he would be there to help you. And they just
Yeah,
being called his son, that's more of a disgrace to him than it is to me, because he's just I hope he gets it, because he definitely deserves it. And so hopefully somewhere somebody can document his miles into where it's recognizable that he put those many miles safe for all the companies that he's worked for,
yeah.
and be acknowledged of that, and the kind of person that he is. And he's, what is he, 80 some years old now?
80, he just turned 80. He's for anybody that doesn't know, he's driven 8 million miles without a ticket or accident. I did a podcast with him, and his podcast blew all my other podcasts away by 10. I go, geez, Ron, I need to have you on here all the time. I'll go viral. And, it's just amazing, amazing individual when you talk about it, because it's funny. I told Ron I was nominated. He goes, is there anything else I need to do? I said, yeah. Get home and press your damn suit because we won the damn thing, dude. Let's go. Get your speech ready and press your suit because we're taking the top.
Awesome. Awesome. He is. He's 100% in everything he does. And at 80 years old, he's still out there putting miles down, when he could have retired years ago. But
Yeah.
it's something he enjoys, and you know is passionate in. And he's got nice equipment with you guys, and it's just awesome to see him out there still.
Yeah. I'll say one more thing about Ron, because this will be a whole podcast about Ron. We'll get back to the truck
I
show,
know
but
it. I'm sorry.
no, we're good. I'm just as bad. We make fun of Ron because he took off work to go to his son's retirement party. We're like, get a load of this. The dad's calling off work
Yeah,
to go to the son's retirement party. Oh, it's
that sounds
awesome.
just exactly like him.
Yeah. And well, I'll tell you what, the truck show is a great thing. I wanted to get Jason on here. He's a key player in putting this on. I wanted to say thank you to him as a personal friend, a great guy. And I haven't got a chance to talk to him much, but these people come in your life, they never leave. And they impact you in one way, a positive way. This truck show, if you ever thought about this industry, you want to know anything about the industry, you need to go see this industry because you're going to see the love, the capacity these people have for vehicles. If there's anything you want to know about this industry, I guarantee you it's under that roof. We've got great speakers. I've seen we got FMCSA people. We've got. I didn't even know there's that many speakers there, to be honest with you. And I can't wait to see you there. I know we're going to put a pop up tent next to. We're taking the show truck down there now, and I believe you got a trailer. You got a trailer you hold behind your cab over, don't you? So
Yes, we took an old furniture trailer, and I don't know how we did it all those years working out of tents, and half the time we were chasing them down in Cincinnati and
yeah,
Nashville with the wind. And when I took it over, I just really was passionate about getting the trailer, so that everything that we needed stayed in that trailer. That trailer was only used for shows, and we would have the security of rain and wind and warmth in the trailer. And so it's got tables and chairs and bags. The girls tally the votes and stuff in there. So it's kind of like our office on wheels. And
oh,
we
nice.
painted it to match. And these kind of got pressed for time on getting it ready. And it really needed painted on the inside. And one of my truck show buddies goes, why don't you just decorate it with truck show stuff? And I had a bunch of stuff already, and guys will give me their old porch lights or their boot box signs or old license plates. And so when you walk in there, it's somewhat of a museum of old license plates, or boot box information, or porch lights. And it's just kind of fun to go in there and, check it out. And like I said, we kind of got rushed for time, but now we've just kind of embraced it. And there's just trucking memorabilia all over the walls in there.
Well, I tell you what, that's even great. Let me ask you this then. I hired a media guy to follow me around that day and record our session. And I told him, I said, if I can find a place to do podcasts, we'll get a couple of people on podcasts. Let me know if we can shoot a little bit of video in there. He can shoot a little bit of video, catch the inside of the
You're
trailer. Maybe we could do a
more than
20, 30 minute
welcome
video.
to.
Oh, beautiful,
You're more
beautiful.
than
I'm gonna see if I can get. I'm gonna reach out now to like Rebecca Brewster, some people, maybe sit in there and have him record, and he can capture some of that memorabilia. That's awesome, super. I'm gonna dig up my stuff. I'm gonna see what I can bring and hang on the wall. So
That'd be awesome. Like I said, there's guys that have given old porch lights and old, license plates off their truck, and
yeah,
it's just kind of fun in there. And if you want to do a video in there, we've got like two sets of tables that you can sit at, and we actually did
excellent,
an interview last year in it, and so it's just kind of a fun place
beautiful,
to
beautiful,
hang out, and the girls make it home for a week, you know.
excellent, excellent. Well, I tell you, I just want to make sure everybody knows. Starting next week, Mid America Truck Show. It is on. I believe the doors open Thursday, the 26th, I do believe, midday, noon, 1 o'clock, something like that, 11 or noon,
I
something like
think
that.
I think it starts. Don't hold me to this because I'm always outside, but I think it opens at 8 or 9 if you have a VIP badge, and then like it opens at 1 for the general public. And if anybody's needing a VIP badge, come by and I'll give you one, and you can go in and kind of beat the crowd, and miss the strollers and the congestion if you're,
Yeah,
especially if you've got key places that you're really wanting to see, or and talk to a vendor about something. That VIP kind of gives you
perfect.
a little faster deal there.
Perfect. I'm gonna be doing that. I'm gonna go see the OEMs and then be visiting with people. And Saturday, I got the media guy. We'll be doing some podcasts. Maybe we'll just grab people and jump in and have them sit in the hot seat for a little bit. But we got him all day. Tyler Kirk from Legacy Media, awesome dude. He does a lot for some big name people, some high power like your Ben Newmans and all that. I'm telling you, he is the bomb when it comes to videos. So all of you there, I'm telling you, you have to be there. Jason, it's hard to believe, but we've been going for almost 30 minutes. So I want to say thank you to everybody. I'll give you take a couple minutes, say anything you want, and I'm going to say goodbye to everybody, and you stay on. I want to give you a little love and appreciation before we hang up. So I'm just going to give it
Nope.
to you for a few minutes.
Just hope to see everybody there. There's everything from a bottle of nothing to new trucks, new trailers, anything that you can bolt onto a truck, anything that has to do with trucking, it's there, and you kind of see it in action. There's going to, from the pictures I've seen, there's going to be some of the nicest trucks that you've ever seen. We're doing the build off again this year. One guy has shared with me the checkbook on that, and you just can't believe how much money they can wrap up in that. But that's kind of what we want, is an no holds bar guys building. It's big money class. It's guys that want to
Yeah,
throw money at that, and the build off trucks never disappoint. And there's 4 very well qualified guys that are going to be in that this year again. And there's going to be some other trucks that are you're just gonna you're just gonna drop your jaw. It'll be nice to have your guys' show truck back in the ring. It hasn't been down there in Louisville for a few years, so it's always a crowd favorite. So I'm really looking forward to this year.
I am too. I am super pumped. Well, Jason, I say thank you. And everybody, please find us at beyondthetruck.com. You can go to Matt's 2026, I think. Matt's Truck Show. I Googled it up early, so I had it here. But you Google Matt's Truck Show, it's going to be #1 Google search. You get on there, it's got everything on there. It's a great website. And again, get down to Louisville. I look forward to seeing you. You'll be watching us walk around with the black hoodies. It says Beyond the Truck in orange. And Jason, I'll bring you one. Just give me your size before we hang up, and we'll be bringing you some. And
Okay.
I want to say, everybody, thank you for pouring into us. I know what people think. I'm telling you, mental health, physical health in this industry, we got to get it turned around. We've got to start loving these people that pour into our country and show up for us. We got to start showing up for them. They've got a tough job. they've got a lot of things stacked against them. It's hard to be healthy, hard to be have a long lifestyle on that road. But we've got to get this turned around to make it attractive for these younger generations, because I'm telling you, this industry has survived every depression, recession, war, winter, summer. There is nothing that has survived like trucking. And transportation in this country is vital. These people have a special license, just like your lawyers, your doctors, your surgeons, your pilots. They are skilled professionals, and I love them dearly. Look forward to seeing y'all there. Thanks for always tuning into our podcast at Beyond the Truck, and reach out, thrive at beyondthetruck.com. Jason, you stay on. We're going to give you a little love before we hang up. Everyone else, you be safe out there.
Thanks for having us, Jerry.